go with the recording? So, happy Friday. This will be, excuse me, a more casual session because we're going to use our foam rollers today, and we're going to do some chanting, and we're going to leave the sound on. I have to clear my throat here 1 second. There we go, that's better. All right, so bring your hands into Bu Mudra for grounding. And we were talking a little earlier about America being born under the sign of Cancer, which is the mother and the child. It's nurturance, home. Cancer people are usually home bodies, though that's, you can't overgeneralize because there's so much other things in the chart. But so we're going to have a mindfulness around boundaries, healthy boundaries for ourselves in our bodies and in our practice this morning. So as a part of that, we will release anything that would distract us from healthy boundaries. Then bring your attention to your breath. Notice your pace, your natural pattern in this now moment. Let go of the weak. Bring yourself fully into your sphere of energy, creating a healthy boundary around you, a bubble of pink energy. Pink is a good nurturing color. You can bring pink and blue in for the Cancerian. Even though we're in the sign of Taurus, we're right at the cusp. And then you can either leave your hands in the mudra or bring your hands onto your knees for your body scan. Just take a moment and talk to yourselves mentally. Send some nurturing energy into your whole body. Notice if you're holding anywhere that you don't need to, just to sit up. All right, so I thought of something a little different for our attunement to breath. We'll just bring our arms out to the side and breathe our arms up overhead like we frequently do. So that's your in breath. And then as you bring your palms together, we'll chant Om as we come down with our hands. Om. Breathe. Om. 2 more rounds. Om. Last time. Om. And pause just for a moment with your hands in Anjali Mudra. Deepening your awareness, mindfulness, and then release your hands, and we'll come up and work with our Tai Chi rising ritual. So, I have to get some water here. Just shake out your legs. Okay, just standing tall. Connect with the earth through the soles of your feet and your root chakra, your legs. Press down in your feet and lift up through your crown and connect with the spiritual forces, inspiration coming in your crown. Generally, some people send through their crown, but mostly we receive. And then just bring your hands over your abdomen and take in a breath. Bend knees and press down. I call forth the unconditional love, light, and power of the earth now for our highest good. Draw the energy up. I call forth the unconditional love, light, and power of the heavenly forces now for our highest good. I call forth the unconditional love, light, and power of the earth now for our highest good. I call forth the unconditional love, light, and power now for for the heavenly forces, for our highest good. I call forth the unconditional love, light, and power of the earth now for our highest good. Bringing the light up through your pranic tube. I call forth the unconditional love, light, and power of the heavenly forces now for our highest good. And one more round. I call forth the unconditional love, light, and power of the earth now for our highest good. I call forth the unconditional love, light, and power of the heavenly forces now for our highest good, and bring it all in. Open to receive the infinite and boundless love and energy from the universe. And then just release, separate your feet, and we'll start with a standing twist to loosen up a little bit, wake up our spine. Just be sure to lift the outside heel to protect your knee. We're twisting spines, not knees. Okay, so let's get our foam rollers here and just set it across your mat. We'll just start with some rolling on our hips and spine. I like to roll along the sacrum area. Some people don't, but if you're okay with that, then you can start at your tailbone and just walk your feet forward and roll along your spine. If you come to a sore spot, just back up and roll over it again. And then keep rolling forward all the way up over your shoulder blades, up into your upper back. And just roll a couple times. You can lean to one side. You can even roll way up almost to the side of your neck. And then other side from shoulder blade up to the neck. And then push and walk your feet in, rolling down. Now you may have to realign on your mat, and that's fine. So start down once again at the tailbone. Roll a little bit more on the sacrum. If you're holding your head up and your neck gets tired, just take one hand and support your head. And then just keep walking your feet forward. Now, as you're rolling your upper back and you have your knees bent, balls of the feet on the floor, you can get a nice thigh stretch here and just press the back of your neck into the roller and extend one knee down and then the other. It might feel a little tight because we're just warming up. So we want to be considerate and not force. And then we'll roll, push away. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm on this roller and I'm rolling up my spine, I love to lift my arms up overhead as I walk my feet forward or as I roll with my knees towards the front. It just opens the chest and it gives you a bit of realignment. If you have a tendency to round in the upper back, I had a little bit of an injury in the front, down in the rib area, diaphragm area, and it causes me to round forward because it's protecting that area. So it feels really good. So also, this is another one that Not everybody wants or likes, but if you want to try it, it's simple. It's just rolling to your sacrum and letting your sacrum just fold over the roller. You can take knees side to side here. Take arms up overhead. And start to walk your feet forward, rolling on your spine, arms overhead. Notice how that feels. This is a nice way to open the heart center with your arms overhead, chest open. Now, just bring one arm in, bring your left arm in, right arm extended, and just roll to the side a little bit. And those teres major, teres minor muscles on the outside of the shoulder joint down into the shoulder blade, your scapula, just roll on your shoulder and down to your shoulder blade. Helps to release any stored tension there. We'll switch arms, extend the left arm over, roll to the left. I'm going to support my head here. And then roll up to the shoulder. You can come up over the shoulder and then down to the shoulder blade. Now, another thing you can do here is place your roller right under your shoulder blades so that you feel the heart opening and the upper ribs. I should say lower ribs, really. The abdomen, upper abdomen. And then interlace your fingers behind your head and let your shoulders open and just pause there and breathe and relax. Deep breaths. Let the elbows relax down towards the floor. Arch in your upper back. Now start to lift and then release your hands and roll down your back, roll up, and just loosen it all up. Coming down to the mid back, ribs, and then the low back, sacrum. Okay, now we'll come up and sit in front of your roller. Press your roller to your right. Come up sitting on your roller. And extend your right leg. Bring your left leg over. Bring your hands down to your right on the floor, fingertips, palms, whatever works, and come over more onto the right hip, and then start to roll. Walk your hands, keep that right leg straight. Your left leg will help secure you. Roll down to the knee.
Oh, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. Most people are sore here, which is a nice, this is a nice way to release that. All the way to the hip bone and all the way down to the knee. If your roller travels, just take a minute and lift up and roll it down further and then start again. And you can gauge, pressing down on your left foot, you can gauge how much weight you allow onto the roller. If it's very sore, you might want to lift off. If you have a spot that's very tight, rather than roll on that tight spot, find where it starts and roll just ahead of it, and then go past it and just below it. So either side, so that you're loosening into where it hurts, where it's tight.
Oh, that's good.
I feel a lot of warmth coming in when I do this one. Come all the way down to the knee, because those quadricep muscles just above the knee can get really tight. All right, so come back up, sitting on your roller forward, and just push your roller over to the left. Stretch out your left leg, bring the right leg over, both hands come over. And then onto the side of the hip. And then start to roll. Keep the legs straight. You don't want to engage the muscles too much because you want them to soften, but you do want to keep the legs straight, just not gripping. So roll down to the knee and back up to the hip. Breathe. Come all the way down to your knee. I believe you can save your knees doing this very roll. And once again, if you find a spot that's tighter than the rest, rather than roll directly over it, you can go just ahead of it or just behind it, above or below, whichever. Now we'll give our thighs a little rest here. Just sit on your mat with your roller under your thighs, under your hamstrings. And then bring your hands behind you and just roll on your hamstrings. A lot of people think that to stretch, to get a deeper forward bend, to get more of a stretch in the hamstrings, they want to do that hang and ragdoll or head to knee pose. But the actual way to open up the hamstrings is to roll on them. You want to spread them apart. They are like strings. You want to separate the strings so that they soften and spread apart.
Oh, that feels so good.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then try down at the back of the knees. Now try turning your feet out too, and you'll get just the outside of your knee, which feels good.
Is our butt in the air or down?
It's up.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, you're holding yourself up.
Yes. That's what I was doing. But I thought, wow,
So you're strengthening your arms as we speak, as we roll.
Exactly.
Okay, so now keep your hands behind you, both feet on the floor. Lift your hips up onto your roller and then take your right ankle over your left knee and just roll to the right a little bit and roll on your glutes there. You might find some sore spots there too. And you can adjust your knee up or down so that you feel more pressure or less. And I find here, I think it is the piriformis that, or maybe it's just the glute, or maybe it's where they are together. But I find if I stop the roll and just hang out on a sore spot, it's not quite as intense as it is on the thighs.
Yes.
On the outside of the thighs. So, and you can roll side to side too, which feels good. A little more massage there.
Go forward and back. We can't hear your voice.
Okay, hold on.
I hear it now. We had a little feedback there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think there might be some lightning here because the lights blinked twice, and then that message popped up.
Well, I am glad you are recording this. I'm going to download it so I have it in West Virginia where I don't have any internet access, but I'm going to download it and use this. I'm going to need it. So thank you.
You're going to need what?
This workout in West Virginia, I'm going to download it and I'm going to take my roller.
Oh, I see. I thought you were talking about the sound and I was still back there. Oh, okay, sure, absolutely. Well, I guess it's good that we recorded it then.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
Oh, good. Okay, so are you ready to do the other leg? Bring the left leg, left ankle onto the right knee, and then just lean to the left and roll away. And notice too, when you're doing these, notice if you feel more sore on one side than the other. I mean, our thighs do so much work. I think most everybody, not everybody, because I've had people in class that, oh, I don't have any soreness. Okay. But most people that, in my experience, they have. And where was I going with that? Oh, notice if one side is more sore than the other, because you might have an imbalance. You know, most people have one leg longer than the other, half an inch or so. And things can get out of whack, but this tells us, you know, what's going on in our bodies, and we can address those issues. Now here you might want to lean, you might be sore in a different spot, you're tight, and you can adjust accordingly. Just find those areas. I will tell you though, if you're rolling on some sore spots, listen to your body, because you don't want to inflame the area with too much rolling on it. That's another prompt for rolling ahead or behind of the sore spot. But your body might be compensating for a weakness on the other side. Okay. Now, if you feel pretty good about that much, there's one other, but this one usually hurts, but we'll do it and you can gauge for yourself. But come around behind your roller. We're going to roll on the top of our thighs. So you'll want to come into kind of a plank with your arms and start down at your knees, and then just gently roll up and over your thighs, up to the groin. Did you find a sore spot?
Yeah. Mm. Do that.
You can also experiment here in this one on the front of your thighs with your feet, like turning your heels out or straight out from your ankle,
Mm.
because that will change the position that the part of your thigh that's actually touching. So when you roll down to your knees, you might want to turn your heels out and see how that feels.
Are your legs wide apart or just together?
Just whatever feels normal, natural.
Okay.
You're not keeping your thighs touching. You're just maybe just hip width apart,
Okay.
and your wrists might get a little tired here, so you can take a little break. And this might be a good time to do a thigh stretch. So circle around in your wrists and loosen up in your fingers, shake them out, whatever your body's calling for.
They're transferring that beehive swarm from the tree. They took the branch off with the swarm on it and are putting it into another hive. That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
I know, they cut the branch and then this big thing's hanging on the branch. Oh.
Uh,
Oh.
Okay, so come up onto your hands and knees and bring your knees together and take your feet out to the side and then come down sitting in between your feet.
Mhm.
You might feel that in your ankles, but wherever. And then since we just rolled our thighs and our hamstrings and our hips, just come down and see how it feels now in a thigh stretch.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Take your time and come down onto your back.
That-
Try to keep your thighs, your knees together if you can. And then bring arms up overhead, holding onto your elbows, and let your arms relax down on the floor. And breathe and relax.
Mm.
If you prefer to do one leg at a time, just bring one leg back, let the other one straight, and just switch when you're ready.
Mm.
So it should be a little easier for this thigh stretch after rolling, but just see how it works for you. To come back up, just press up onto your elbows and then your palms. And kind of an unusual stretch, but it might be beneficial for, especially if you're having some sensation in that upper hip, to keep your position for your thigh stretch, but come forward now gently and mindfully, because you don't want to pull anything,
Right.
but just lean forward, hinge in your hips,
Mm.
and then pull back, hinge forward, and then come back, and then let your legs out, but slowly after you've been stretching. You don't want any fast, quick movements like Gemini people do. And shake out your legs.
Mm.
Now, one thing we have not stretched is our calf muscles. Now, I don't usually do calves on my roller, but let's try it and see how it works out here. Just bring it under your thighs or knees. And then roll back on your calves. Now here you might want to press down so you have some pressure to get a good massage on your calves. Go down to your ankle if you can. That's quite a hold for your arms and hands, but give it a try. And then turn your knees out, turn your feet out to the side and get the outer edge of your calf, and then roll it in and see how that feels. And then on the center once again. Now you might even find a sore spot here. I don't know, but if you do, just roll with it. Little Sagittarian wit there.
Yes. There is a song from the 70s that's called Roll With It. Find out what that is.
There's a new show on TV. It's about a guy it's based on a true story, about a guy who's a bowler, and it has something rolling in the name of it.
I used to date a professional bowler. How boring that was.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God. It was so boring.
Oh. Don't forget you're recording this.
Oh, yes. That's okay. No digging.
Okay, so let's come into a butterfly now. Just put your roller aside and come into a butterfly and open the hip joints and the groin. Just hold on to your feet, bring them in, and a few butterfly, just some pulses with your knees. Start small. And then start to press your knees down a little bit more as they warm up and soften. Okay, and then from here, just bring your hands behind you. Slide your feet out until you can place your feet on the floor, and bring your legs together. Bring your right leg over the left, and then bring your left foot in a little closer. Take in a breath. And as you exhale, take your knees over to the right and just come into a bit of a twist. Keep the shoulders straight. It's kind of like knee down twist, only you're sitting up. Look over your left shoulder. And then press down on your hips and lift your knees up. Now, here again, you might feel like using the floor as a roller. You might feel a tight spot in your glute. So you can use this as an opportunity. I'll do circles on that muscle if it gets tight. I'll rock back and forth on it, especially after having done the roller, because it's already like warmed up and prepared for a hard floor. Circle around. You might discover other areas that might need some attention. Or you might notice that, oh, it's okay, it doesn't. So whatever is best for you. You can lower yourself down a little bit and bring yourself up. And then bring your knees all the way up and we'll switch sides. It's like after all of this, your body just buzzes with energy. Take your knees over to the left, keep shoulders forward. Look over your right shoulder. I'll put this in the playlist so it's easy to find.
Good, good, good. Rolling with Michelle.
Or yeah, or I can just send you the link to
Yes.
in your email. And then start to bring your knees up. Check out your piriformis and your glutes. I think it's gluteus minimus and gluteus maximus. I think there's a gluteus medius. So after doing these types of rolls and stretches and pressure points, it gives you an idea if you have one side that's weaker. Now you might have a weaker leg in one or thigh in one, and the hip might be different, but it'll give you an idea of where to concentrate your efforts, your attention. So one more exercise that just popped into my mind is to come up standing. You're all upstanding individuals, right? At least you are now.
Outstanding. And
Okay,
outstanding.
so let's do the side kick, you know, where we're just pulsing. You can place your hands on your hips or however you want to do your arms, but just feet comfortably apart. I'm going to get on just one mat here. I have to move my water. And then breathe. Breathe out, shift the weight over to your left and extend the right leg out strictly to the side, not forward or back, just strictly to the side. Take the leg out and pulse, 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 pulse. 10. Okay, let's switch sides. So breathe. Breathe out, shift the weight to the right, focus on a spot. Reach the leg out, pulse, pulse, pulse. As you pulse, pulse it up, up, up. 9, 10. And then once again, over to the, with the right leg out, breathe. And see if you can lift a little higher now. You're going to feel it a different place. But the rolling should have made some difference here. One,
Good.
two.
I'll say. Whoa.
Okay, 15 on that side. Okay, so shake out your legs, your hips after you're done with your pulsing. And then what I notice is when you lift your leg higher, it reaches deeper into that piriformis muscle, and I think it strengthens it more because
Mm.
balance is really good today. Of course, I did my walking yesterday and tree poses, but I think the rolling is very beneficial. So after doing those, just bend both knees. If you can come into a 4 square without using the floor, that's fine. If you need to reach for the floor, that's fine too. But press your hips back and lower your chest down. You're hinging in the hips. Focus on a spot. And stretch that area now. Flex the foot, the top foot. And it should feel a lot better there.
Mm, mm,
Okay. And then if you're ready, we'll switch sides.
phew.
Remember to breathe, keep your breath flowing. I would call that a healthy boundary
Mm,
in line with our mission today,
mm.
our intention. This also might show if you have one side that's weaker than the other. Press hips back, flex the front foot or the top foot. And just keep bending the supporting knee.
Whew, that's good.
Okay. And then just press your palms down on the floor, walk your feet back into a downward facing dog. Stretch out those calves a little bit more here.
Mhm.
The roller might not do much on your calves.
Mm.
And then just set your knees down,
Mm.
come down sitting, swing your legs around to the front and prepare for Shavasana. Now, it's up to you, but you might want to try it. It's nice to have your roller under your neck.
Mhm.
So if you want to do that for part of your Shavasana,
Mm.
it might feel good for you. Just watch out for hair and your necklaces if you have one on. Just make sure your hips are rolled under and your shoulder blades. Breathe a couple of nice, relaxing breaths. And when you want to remove your roller, just lift your head and push it away and let your head come down. Realign your shoulders and arms. And let your legs out, just melt Now, as you relax, notice your jaw, your tongue. Sometimes we work on the whole body, stretching and relaxing everything. And then we lie down and, oh, listen to this jaw. So let that soften. You separate your teeth a little bit. Let go some more. Like melted butter. All right, so we'll start to come back now. Become aware of the floor supporting you. Feel what it's like to be in your body right now after the work that you've done and the relaxation. Just take your head side to side a couple of times to make sure you're still loose in your neck. Open and close your hands. Move your toes. Circle around in your ankles. And then slide your feet together and lift your knees up to your chest. And wrap your arms around your knees. Optional is to bring your head up to meet your knees. And then just roll to one side and press up into sitting. Just bring your hands into the mudra for the second chakra, the feminine. Just hold your hands out in front of you. Turn the backs of your hands and interlace your fingers, your index fingers. The finger pads touch. Bring your thumb pads together and point your thumbs down, and then just bring your hands into in front of your navel area, the second chakra. And we'll chant Om 3 more times, starting with your deep breath. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May all your intentions, your hopes and dreams manifest in the reality as you bring palms into Anjali Mudra. Have a wonderful weekend and namaste, everybody.
Fabulous.
I'll say, wow, I'm so glad we recorded that one. Oh, wow.
You feel like you're all rolled out?
Yes,
That's great.
I feel
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed rolling around. If you're new, please click on like, subscribe, or comment. And as a reminder, if you'd like a numerology reading or tarot, please let me know. Just write a comment. And if you prefer, you can send an email to michellestaryoga@gmail.com. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.